Hello students, in this video we are going to see the types of armature windings. Okay, so we have three types of armature windings basically. They are single layer and double layer winding, full pitch and short pitch winding, concentrated and distributed winding. Okay, these are individual types of windings that are going to be kept in armature windings. Okay, so let us see the each and every type. Okay, let us see the details of each classification. First we have to see what is single layer winding and what is double layer winding. Okay, so the name itself saying that single layer means one layer. Okay, single layer means one layer. That means if one coil side of the winding is placed in one slot, that type of winding is called single layer winding. Here you can see these are the slots on the armature. Okay, so here you can see this is a slot. Here in this slot I am going to keep one coil side, so that that type of winding is called single layer winding. That is, if one coil side placed in one slot, the type of winding is called single layer winding. Single layer winding. Okay, the type of winding is called single layer winding. That means you have to keep only one coil side in the one slot. So that type of winding is called single layer winding. Then what is double layer winding? So the name itself indicating that if this is a slot, okay, you are going to keep two coil sides. Okay, this is my one coil side, and upper there will be two decks on the slot. Okay, and upper deck there will be one coil side, in the lower deck there will be another coil side. Okay, this is called double layer winding. That means you are going to keep two coil side in one slots. Okay, if two coil sides are placed in one slot, the type of winding is called double layer winding. It is as simple as that. Okay, you can easily understand by seeing the name itself. Okay, single layer winding is nothing but if a slot consists of only one coil side, winding is said to be a single layer winding. Okay, you can see here, this is my single layer winding. If the slot consists of two coil sets per slot, okay, one at bottom and one at the top, the type of winding is called double layer winding. Here you can see one at the top, one at the bottom. Okay, this is called double layer winding. Okay, a lot of space gets wasted in single layer winding, hence practice generally double layer winding is preferred. Okay, because there is a lot of space wasting in single layer winding, the general use of the winding is double layer winding only. So the most of the applications use double layer winding, so that we can use the most of the place in the slot. Okay, so in double layer winding, how we are going to place the winding, let us see. You are going to keep two coils sides. Let me consider a 12 pole 12 slots armature. Okay, now for that I have to take 12 slots here. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is a 12 slots and 2 pole. Okay, that means number of slots per pole, that is nothing but pole pitch is, number of slots are 12 and number of poles is 6. So there will be 6 slots per each pole, because we will be having 2 poles and 12 slots. Okay, each pole will have the range of 6 slots. Okay, that is nothing but our pole pitch. Okay, that means if this is my coil number, slot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, up to 6, this is under the vicinity of my north pole. I am considering it as north pole. So after 6, 7 to 12 under the vicinity of south pole. Here you can see, if this is my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is under vicinity of north pole, and this is 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got extra here. This is my 12 slot winding. Okay, so up to this is the upper part of the armature will be under the vicinity of north pole and the lower part is under the south pole. So this is the idea. Okay, now how you are going to keep, let me consider it as a full pitch winding. Full pitched winding, you already know what is a full pitched winding, I think. Okay, full pitched winding is nothing but whenever the coil span is nothing but the distance between two coil sides. The distance between two coil sides, if this is a coil, okay, the distance between two coil sides, coil side number 1, coil side number 2, the distance between two coil sides is called coil span. Okay, this is my coil span. Okay, if this coil span equal to my pole pitch, okay, if this coil span equal to my pole pitch, this type of winding is called full pitch winding. Okay, so this is another definition we are going to see further actually. So better understanding, I mentioned here full pitch winding is nothing but whenever the coil span equal to pole pitch. Here what is the coil span here? That is 6 slots. Coil span is nothing but pole pitch. Okay, pole pitch is nothing but number of slots per pole. This is my pole pitch. Number of slots per pole is my pole pitch. Okay, so one pole has 6 slots, that is nothing but pole pitch. One pole has 6 slots of pitch, that is pole pitch. Okay, now I am going to place a full pitch winding. That means if I place my one coil side here, this is my coil side 1, okay, of winding. So we will be having 3 phase. So for 3 phase, the number of slots per phase will be 6 by 3, that will be 2. For each phase you will be having 2 slots. Okay, for R phase, and for R phase you will have 2 winding, 2 slots. For Y phase you will be having 2 slots, and for Z, for R, Y, B phase you will be having 2 coil slots. Okay, so this is the idea. Number of slots per phase, slots per pole per phase, this is 2. Okay, now if I keep my one coil side here, so for full pitch winding you have to keep the another coil side of the coil after one pole pitch. Okay, what is the pole pitch here? 6. That means after 6 you will be have to keep this second coil side. Okay, so after 6 means 1 plus 6, you will be keeping the winding in the 7th slot. Okay, so you are placing the 2 coil sides 1 pole pitch away. Okay, that means the coil span is nothing equal to pole pitch for a full pitch winding, and you can see here one coil side is placed on the lower deck, lower part of the slots, and another coil side of the same coil is placed on the upper deck of the slot. Okay, so this is represented as, you can, if someone see it from the top, okay, if someone see from the top, it will be observed as like this. Okay, if someone see the coil side from the top side, that will be equal to length of the coil. Okay, and the lower side, the lower deck conductor can be drawn as imaginary line. So this type of representation is nothing but a double layer winding. This is a double layer winding. You can see there are 2 conductors, one is on the top, another is on the bottom. Okay, the bottom conductor is represented as imaginary line, dotted line. Okay, so if my upper deck, if the upper deck conductor side is represented as 7, the lower deck will be represented as 7 dash. Okay, that means for coil 1 and 7 dash, you can see, sorry, this is my 1 dash because it is placed on the lower side. This is my 1 dash, and the coil side on the 7th slot is 7. So this is my one coil. Okay, I have placed this means I have placed one coil side on the lower deck of the first slot and upper deck of the 7th slot. This is one coil. Okay, so if I keep the second coil in the second slot, okay, I have to keep the other side of this coil after one pole pitch gap. That means 2 plus 6, 2 plus 6. That means coil span is, the pole pitch is 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. So I am going to keep the second coil side in the 8th slot. That will be represented as 2 dash because I am keeping it as in the under in the lower deck 2 dash, and it is placed on the upper deck, that will be 8. Okay, and similarly if you keep the third slot, if you keep the third coil in the third slot, you will be have to keep the other coil side after the pole pitch, that will be in the 9th slot. Okay, so this will be my 3 dash 9. Okay, so here you are going to place one coil side in the one slot, it may be on the upper or lower, but if it is placed on the lower, the other coil side will be placed on the upper after one pole pitch distance. So this is for full pitch winding. If for short pitch winding, if my winding is short pitched, okay, if my winding is short pitched by 30 degrees, if it is said my winding is short pitched by 30 degrees, that will be carding angle alpha. So 30 degrees means for 360 degrees we are having the slot angle as 30 degrees. Okay, that means we are going to eliminate one slot, that equal to one slot. 130 degrees means one slot. That means you have to keep the one coil side on the first slot and the another coil side on the slot which is one slot less than the pole pitch. That means if the pole pitch is 6, okay, I have to keep it on the 7th slot for a full pitch winding. Okay, I have to keep it on the other side of the coil on the 7th slot. But for this is for full pitch winding. For short pitch winding, that means I am going to keep it one slot less than the full pitch winding, because the short pitch angle alpha is nothing but 60 degrees here. For 60 degrees we are occupying one slot. Okay, so in full pitch winding we are going to keep it 6 slots away from the first slot, but here we are going to reduce one slot. That means we are going to keep it after 5 slots from the first slot. Okay, if I keep the first slot, if I keep the winding in the first slot, I will be keeping after 5 slots. That means 1 plus 6 I will be keeping in the 6th slot. Okay, this is short pitch winding. That means we have shorted one coil slot, that is called short pitch winding. Okay, so I am going to discuss the short pitch winding in the further discussions. Okay, so this is about single layer and double layer winding. Okay, now let us see the full pitch and short pitch winding. So full pitch and short pitch winding. So what is a full pitch winding? Full pitch winding is, for that you need to understand the coil span first. So what is a coil span? The distance between two coil sides. This is my one coil side, this is another coil side of a coil. Okay, the distance between two coil sides is nothing but a coil span. Okay, this is my coil span. That means if my first coil side is placed in one slot, okay, the another coil side will be placed in the another slot. The distance between these two conductors placed in the slots is called coil span. Okay, so what is full pitch winding? What is full pitch winding? For that we need to understand one more concept, that is pole pitch. Pole pitch. Pole pitch is nothing but angular distance between two adjacent poles is nothing but pole pitch. Okay, that is mentioned here 180 degrees electrical. That means which is nothing but a pole pitch is given as number of slots per pole. Number of slots per pole. That means how many slots per pole indicate how many. That means the value of n. That means this is n here. Pole pitch. The value of n slots per pole indicates how many slots are contributing 180 degree electrical phase difference. Okay. How many slots are contributing 180 degrees electrical phase difference. This is nothing but pole pitch. Okay. That can be given as number of slots per pole. Okay. This is my pole pitch. Okay. So if coil side is in one coil slot, so if coil side is in one slot is connected to a coil side in another slot which is one pole pitch distance away from the first slot, the winding is said to be full pitch winding. Okay. If coil side in one slot, if coil side is in one slot, okay, let me consider the number of slots. So I am going to consider 12 slot 2 pole machine. Okay, that means the number of the pole pitch will be equal to 12 by 2, that will be 6. Okay, so if this is my first slot, if this is my first slot, this will be second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. Okay, so one coil side is in one slot. This is my one coil side, and it is going to be connected to another coil side. This is my first coil side. The another coil side will be placed one pole pitch away from the first coil side. That means if the pole pitch is 6, I am going to place the another coil side in the 7th slot. 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, here you can see this is nothing but pole pitch. This is nothing but pole pitch. Pole pitch is nothing but 6, and the coil span. Okay, if the coil span of the winding is equal to pole pitch, that type of winding is called full pitch winding. That means if I keep one coil side in one slot is connected to another coil side in another slot which is one pole pitch distance away from the first slot, this type of winding is called full pitch winding. Okay, so what is short pitch winding? So here in this example the pole pitch is 6. That means if I keep the first coil side in the first slot, I have to keep the second coil side in the 7th slot, so that the coil span will be equal to pole pitch. That is said to be full pitch winding. Then what is short pitch winding? Okay, let us see what is short pitch winding. Short pitch winding. Short pitch winding is nothing but, actually in full pitch winding we are keeping coil span equal to pole pitch. Okay, in short pitch winding we are going to keep coil span less than pole pitch. So this is the only difference. Actually initially we were placing the another coil side of this coil one pole pitch away from the first coil. Okay, So if I reduce this placement, that means if I keep it less than the pole pitch, if I keep the one coil side in the first coil and another coil side which is less than distance, if I keep the another coil side at a distance less than the pole pitch, the type of winding is called short pitch winding. That means I am shorted the winding by angle alpha. Okay, actually it is supposed to be kept here for a full pitch winding. Now I have keep it here, so that this is shorted by one coil angle, that is carding angle or shorting angle, short pitch angle. Okay, for simplicity I am going to draw one diagram for perfect understanding of this full pitch and short pitch. Okay, so I have a winding like this. This is my north pole and this is my south pole. So there will be 6 slots between these two. Okay, so this is my one slot and dash dash dash, this is my another slot. Okay, if this is pole pitch, the distance is pole pitch here. Okay, the distance is pole pitch, which is nothing but 6. I am assuming it is a 6. So if I keep one coil side here and another coil side which at a distance equal to pole pitch, this is my full pitch winding. Okay, that means if I keep one coil side in the first slot and another coil side in the 7th slot, this is my 7th slot, this is my first slot. So this will be 1-7 coil. Okay, this is my full pitch winding. Okay, I am placing one coil side in the first slot and the second coil side in the 7th slot. That will be 7 minus 1 is equal to 6. 6 is nothing but my pole pitch. This is my full pitch winding. So what is short pitch winding? If this is my first coil and this is my 6th and 7th coil. Okay, the pole pitch is same 6. Okay, if I place one coil side in the first slot and the second coil slide in the 6th slot, first this is 6th slot, this is 7th slot, this is my first slot. So the coil can be given the numbers as 1-6, that means 6 minus 1, that will be 5, which is less than the pole pitch. Okay, so this is nothing but my short pitch. Okay, this is my short pitch winding. This was full pitch winding, this is short pitch winding, this is the short pitch angle. I am going to name it as alpha. That is how much angle it is reduced from the full pitch is nothing but short pitch angle. This is nothing but carding angle. So there are so many advantages for short pitching the winding. Okay, there are so many advantages for short pitching the winding. They are, in actual practice, short pitch coils are used as it has following advantages. They are, the length required for the end connections of coils is less. Here you can see the length required for, this is my end connection. Okay, if I place it in short pitch winding, the length for the end connections will be less. Okay, that means the amount of copper used for end rings, end connections will be less compared to our full pitch winding. Okay, actually it is inactive length of the conductor. End connections is nothing but inactive length of the conductor. It won't participate in any EMF generation. Okay, if you reduce this winding, that will be useful for the operation of the machine. And the second advantage is short pitching eliminates high frequency harmonics, which distort the sinusoidal nature of the EMF. Okay, this short pitch winding will eliminate higher order harmonics. This is another advantage of keeping short pitch. Okay, you know that if harmonics are reduced, you can understand that the EMF waveform generated in the machine will be nearly sinusoidal. This is another advantage. Okay, and the third advantage is, as high frequency harmonics gets eliminated, eddy current and hysteresis losses which depend on the frequency also get minimized. Okay, so as our eddy current loss, okay, which is proportional to frequency. Okay, you know that our eddy current and hysteresis loss are dependent on frequencies. If the high order harmonics are eliminated, that means high frequency harmonics are eliminated, you can say that our eddy current and hysteresis loss are reduced. That increases the efficiency of the machine. Okay, so these are the advantages of keeping the short pitch winding instead of full pitch winding. Okay, so let me write the advantages here. Advantage of short pitch winding. I hope you understand what is full pitch and what is short pitch. If the coil span, that means if the two coil sides are placed one pole pitch away from each other, that is full pitch winding. If they are not placed one pole pitch away, if they are placed less than the one pole pitch away, they are called short pitch winding. So the advantage are, first one is we can reduce the copper used for end connections. Overhangs, nothing, end connections nothing but overhangs. And the second advantages of short pitch winding. Okay, so you can eliminate higher order harmonics. Higher order harmonics nothing but high frequency harmonics. Okay, if you reduce higher order harmonics, high frequency harmonics, higher order harmonics means what? N times of supply frequency. Okay, as our eddy current and hysteresis losses are proportional to frequency, if the frequency is reduced, our eddy current and hysteresis losses will get reduced. That means efficiency of the machine will improve. So these are the advantages of short pitch and full pitch windings. Now let us see the concentrated and distributed windings. Okay, this is the third type of windings here. So short pitch winding is used most of the cases instead of full pitch winding, because they can short pitch windings eliminate higher order harmonics and the efficiency of the machine will improve due to reduced eddy current and hysteresis losses. Now let us see concentrated and distributed windings. Concentrated and distributed winding. Concentrated means kept in one place, distributed means distributed along the periphery. That is the only difference. In three-phase alternators, we have seen that there are different sets of windings, each for a phase. So depending upon the total number of slots and the number of poles, we have certain slots per phase available under each pole. This is denoted as M. That means here you can see there are number of slots as 12. Slots are equal to 12 and number of poles are equal to, how many poles are there? 2 poles are there, and which is a three-phase system. The number of phases are equal to 3. Here M is nothing but number of slots per pole per phase. So what does it mean? How many number of slots are there for one phase and for one pole? Okay, so number of slots for one pole and one phase, that can be written as, here in this example, now the number of slots are 12 and number of poles are 2 and number of phases are 3. That will be equal to 12 by 2 into 3, that will be equal to 12 by 6, that will be 2. That means there will be 2 slots for each phase under each pole. That means we will be having 3 phases here, R phase, Y phase, B phase. That means for each and every phase under one pole you will be getting 2 slots. Okay, if this is my 1 and 1 dash, this will be 2 and 2 dash. Okay, this will be 2 and 2 dash, this will be 2 and pole pitch, after pole pitch means 7 dash, this will be 2 and 8 dash, this will be 3 and after pole pitch means 9 dash, 4 and 10 dash, 5 and after pole pitch plus 6 11 dash, 6 and 12 dash. Okay, so these are the slots per phase for under each pole. Okay, this is for north pole, this is for south pole. I can say this is for north pole, this is for south pole, this is for north pole, this is for south pole. So for one pole for phase we will be having 2 slots, for one pole we will have 2 slots. Okay, because we are having 2 poles, for one pole we will be having 2 slots, for 2 poles you will be having 4 slots. Okay, this is about that. Okay, for one pole you will be having 2 slots, for another pole you will be having 2 poles. So the total number of slots for one phase is 4 here. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay, that means here you can see if my R phase winding is placed here. Okay, so I am going to keep it after one pole pitch for a full pitch winding in the 7th slot, and the second winding of the R phase will be placed in the 2nd slot, and the second, this is my 1 and A dash, this is my A1 dash, this will be A2 dash, this is A2 dash. Okay, and if this is about R phase, if my Y phase will be kept 120 degrees away from the first slot, that will be equal to 120 degrees electrical, means each slot is contributing 30 degrees, because it is a 360 by 12 slots, that will be equal to 30 degrees. That means one slot is contributing 30 slots. Okay, 180 degree electrical means that will be after 6 slots. Okay, 6 into 30 180, and 180 degrees means 4 slots. Okay, as RYB they are placed 120 degrees away from each other. Okay, if I keep my R winding in the first slot, I have to keep after 4 slots for 120 degree displacement. That means I have to keep the Y phase in the 5th slot. So the angle will be equal to 120 degrees away. The R phase and Y phase are 120 degrees away. Okay, and the second coil of our Y phase will be kept in the 6th slot. For 5th slot, this is B1, and the B1 dash will be after one pole pitch, that will be 11. Okay, this is my B1 dash. For second coil, this is B2, and the second B2 dash will be in the 12th slot. Okay, and I am going to keep the B phase after 120 degree away from the Y phase, that will be equal to 1, 2, 3. So if I keep the Y phase in the 5th slot, I have to keep the B phase after 4 slots, that means in the ninth slot I am going to keep it as B phase. Okay, that is C1. I am going to keep it after one pole pitch, that will be 6. Okay, 9 plus 6 is nothing but 15. So we will be having only 12 slots. That will be, I am going to reduce by number of slots. That will give the slot that should be kept in the winding. That means after 9 I am going to keep the another side of the coil side, that if this is C1, I am going to keep the other coil side in the third slot, that is C1 dash. If the second coil of the B phase is placed in the 10th slot, the other coil side will be placed in the 4th slot, that is B2 dash. So this is arrangement of windings under each pole and each phase. Okay, you can see here for R phase you are getting two coils, okay, A1 A2 and A1 dash A2 dash, and for Y phase you will be having B1 B2. Okay, for Y phase you are getting B1 B2 here these two are the Y phase coils and they will be placed opposite to one pole pitch, and for B phase you will be having two phases C1 C2 and the opposite time. So this is how you are going to place the windings in the slots. Okay, now let us see what is a concentrated winding. Okay, earlier in the example we got the value of M, which is equal to number of slots per pole per phase equal to 2. The M value is 2. That means we have 2 slots per pole per phase available. Okay, we have 2 slots per pole per phase available here. Okay, if let us say X number of conductors per phase are to be placed under one pole, X number of conductors per phase are to be placed under one pole. I am assuming X as number of conductors per phase to be kept under one pole. Okay, so I have number of slots per pole per phase as 2, number of slots per pole per phase as 2, and these are the total number of conductors per phase to be kept under one pole. Okay, if all the X conductors are per phase are placed in one slot, if these all conductors are placed in one slot, if all the conductors per phase placed in one slot, that means I will be left with one slot empty. I have 2 slots. If I kept all the conductors per phase in one slot will be open, empty, one slot will be empty here. That means, so I have 2 slots per phase, and I have X number of conductors per phase under one pole. Okay, if I place all the conductors in one slot here, if I place all the conductors per phase in one slot, that means I am left with this empty slot. Okay, this is nothing but concentrated winding. Okay, that means I am going to keep all the winding per phase under one pole in one slot, and the remaining slots per phase per pole will be left empty. So this type of winding is called concentrated winding. That means we are concentrating the number of conductors per phase under one pole in one slot. This is nothing but concentrated winding. Okay, I am going to place all the conductors per phase under one pole in one slot, irrespective of the number of slots available. This type of winding is called concentrated winding. Okay, so we have 2 slots per phase. Here we have 2 slots per phase, but I have kept all the conductors per phase under one pole in one slot only. So I will be left with another slot. Okay, this is empty slot. There will be no use of this slot. This type of winding is called concentrated winding. So in a concentrated winding, all conductors or coils belonging to a phase are placed in one slot under every pole. Okay, so all conductors or coils placed belonging to a phase are placed in one slot under every pole. That means, so what is a concentrated winding? In concentrated winding, all the conductors per phase are going to be kept in one slot under one pole. Okay, this is nothing but concentrated winding. Okay, if I have x number of conductors, all the x numbers of conductors belonging to a phase are placed in one slot under each pole. Okay, this is concentrated winding. Now let us see what is the distributed winding. Let me write the definition for concentrated winding. Okay, all the conductors or coils belonging to a phase are placed in one slot under each pole. Okay, so initially I have, for R phase I have 2 phases, for Y phase I have 2 phases, for B phase I have 2 phases. if I keep all the R phase winding in one slot, instead I have two slots. Okay, I have 2 slots per pole per phase. Okay, if I keep all the R phase winding in one slot and all the Y phase winding in the one slot and all the B phase winding in the one slot, this type of winding is called concentrated winding. Concentrated winding. So the number of slots will be not equal to number of coil sets here. Okay, here I am left with empty slots. This type of winding is called concentrated winding. So this is the definition of concentrated winding. All the conductors or coils belonging to a phase are placed in one slot under each pole. Okay, so this is concentrated winding. Now let us see what is the distributed winding. So you can understand what is the distributed winding. Okay, distributed winding is opposite to our concentrated winding. Okay. So let us see what is distributed winding. So in concentrated winding, the number of conductors per phase are going to be kept in one slot under each pole. So but for distribution winding, the number of conductors per phase are placed or distributed in all the slots under one pole. Okay, if x number of conductors per phase are distributed among all the slots per phase available under each pole, all the slots per phase under each pole, one pole or each pole. Okay, the total number of conductors, the number of conductors per phase are distributed in all slots per phase under each pole. That means in the previous example we have 2 slots per pole per phase. That means the conductors per phase will be kept in 2 slots under one pole. Okay, this is distributed winding. Okay, in concentrated winding we were going to place in one slot. In distributed winding we are going to distribute in all the slots. That means all the conductors per phase are distributed among the 2 slots per phase available under every pole. So this type of winding is called distributed winding. So in distributed type of winding, all the coils belonging to a phase are well distributed over m slots per phase under every pole. Okay, distributed winding makes the waveform of the induced EMF more sinusoidal in nature. Also in concentrated winding, due to the large number of conductors per slot, heat dissipation is poor. Okay, so in practice, double layer, short pitched and distributed type of armature winding is preferred. Okay, so here this is the definition of the distributed winding. Okay, the definition of the distributed winding means all the coils belonging to a phase are well distributed over the m slots per pole. All the coils belonging to one phase or a phase are well distributed over m slots per pole per phase. Okay, under one pole, under every pole. So this is the definition. So all the coils of a phase belonging to a phase are well distributed over the m slots per phase under every pole. Okay, this is distributed winding under m slots per phase under each pole. Okay, so the distributed winding is preferred compared to our concentrated winding because in the concentrated winding we are going to place all the windings in one slot. When the current passes through these windings, there will be a huge amount of heat will be generated. Okay, because they are clubbed together, the heat dissipation is very poor. Okay, that's why distributed winding is preferred, nearly sinusoidal. Okay, the distributed winding makes the waveform of the induced EMF more sinusoidal in nature. Okay, and the concentrated winding, the heat dissipation is very poor. So in the practice, the type of windings we are going to use are double layered, short pitched distributed. So this is the name of one winding. All this is name of winding, type of winding used for our AC machines, that is double layer short pitch distributor. Double layer means we are going to use all the number of slots, and we are going to use the empty place. We are going to use the amount of place in the slots by using double layer, and by short pitching we are going to eliminate the higher order harmonics, and by distributing we are going to get the sinusoidal, nearly sinusoidal waveform. This is for sinusoidal waveform, this is for higher order harmonics elimination, and this is for best use of slots. Okay, here the number of slots will be equal to number of coils in double layer winding. Number of coils, the number of slots per phase equal to number of coils per phase in the double layer winding. Okay, so this is about the type of winding of AC machine. I hope you understand the concept. We have three types. First one is single layer and double layer. For single layer we are going to keep one slot in one coil side in one slot. For double layer we are going to keep two coil sides in one slot. So that is double layer winding, and there is full pitch and short pitch winding. So if the coil span is equal to pole pitch, that is full pitch winding. If the coil span is not equal to or less than full pitch winding, if the coil span is less than the pole pitch, that is short pitch winding. Okay, the general practical use of the winding is short pitch winding, because the short pitch winding will eliminate the higher order harmonics. Okay, and the third type of windings is concentrated and distributed winding. In concentrated winding we are going to keep the windings belonging to a phase in the one slot under one pole. That means we are going to keep concentrate all the phase windings in one slot. That will create the more heat generation, and the dissipation of the heat is not good. That is, the dissipation of the heat is poor. That's why we are going for distributed winding. In distributed winding, all the coils belonging to a phase are well distributed over number of slots per phase under one pole. Okay, the coils sides are distributed all over the periphery of the slots. Okay, that is distributed winding. So for distributed winding, the EMF generated waveform will be almost sinusoidal. Okay, so these are the advantages of double layer short pitched distributed winding. So the practical use of the winding is double layered short pitched distributed winding is used. Okay, so for double layer winding we are going to use the most of the place of the slots. For short pitched winding we are going to eliminate higher order harmonics. For distributed winding we are going to get the EMF waveform nearly sinusoidal. So these are the advantages of our this winding. Okay, the double layer short pitched distributed winding is used for the practical purpose of our AC machines. Okay, I hope you understand the concept. Thank you.